Okay, I think I'll make a start now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today Burns Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery Master Virtual Open Day. Thank you for joining us. We might have some more people joining in the next few minutes, but we will give a start now. My name is Emiliana Di Donna. I'm the event officer for the Faculty of Medical Sciences, and I'm your chair this afternoon. We hope this session will give you an insight on our program and also give you an insight on what it's really like to study at UCL. I'm delighted to welcome today's speakers, Professor Deepak Kalaskar. And after his presentation, we will have a Q&A session. So please use the Q&A functionality to put all your questions. This webinar will be recorded, so will be made available for all of you on our website. But before we start with the presentation, I would like to run a poll, so we will know a bit more about our audience today. So we launch the poll now. There's a few questions. If you can answer, then I will share the results with all of you. You should be able to see the question now. We'll give you a minute or so to answer the questions. There might be 5 questions. So you scroll down to see all of the questions. Okay, thank you for answering the questions. I end the poll now, and I'll share the results. So we want to know where you're currently based in the UK or overseas. So the 29% of you are based in the UK and 71% overseas. We also want to know your current level of qualification. So the 43% currently studying towards a medical degree, 57% other. We also wanted to know if you're interested in studying on a full-time or part-time basis. So 57% prefer a full-time or is planning to join as a full-time student, and 29% part-time. We also wanted to know if you're interested in studying the master degree or certificate, so 100% for the master degree. And then, are you planning to apply for 24-25, which is next academic years? And 100% said yes. So I'll stop sharing now. And now to introduce our speakers today. Professor Deepak Kalaskar is Professor of Bioengineering here at UCL, is the program lead and Deputy Director of our Master degree in Burns Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery. Over to you, Deepak.
Thank you, Emiliana. Can you hear me? Yes. Thanks, everyone, and welcome to the open day. This is an open session, so essentially we will have an interactive sessions. I'm sure today I don't want to overload with a lot of information, but I thought there will be an important information which is good enough to cover it. Quite a lot of this information, this session is recorded, so you will have access to this recording even after this session. So if you have any questions, any doubts, you can always reach back to us. For this open day, I have few slides, so I'm going to show and go through them. The most important thing is who we are. So there are 2 people who are important in terms of running this program, is Professor Peter Butler, who is a plastic and reconstructive surgery consultant, and myself, who is a professor of bioengineering. Both of us are based at Royal Free Hospital NHS Trust, which is one of the biggest plastic surgery unit in London. And this is where exactly the course is run at. So we are based in hospital. We run this course in the hospital premises. What is the aims and objectives? So this course aims to get you a knowledge, which is a core understanding and knowledge about burns, plastic, and reconstructive surgery. So even though you don't have a background, or you have some background, or you have an aspiration to become a plastic surgeon, that's what you're going to learn about plastics. And the other objective here is to equip yourself, both scientists as well as professional, with research techniques. We are quite heavily research driven in translational tools necessary for research to expand into this field. By completing this course, there are two things you can expect. One, that you acquire both scientific and clinical research skills in burns and plastic and reconstructive surgery, and develop transferable skills, which could be laboratory skills, critical understanding, um, other synthetic skills, and learn an appreciation of needs which are required to cater towards your patient. And that's going to be the paramount importance as far as your career is concerned also. This is an overview of how the course is being structured. So MSc degree is 180 credits. So there are about 3 core modules. Each module is 15 credits. So that's 45 credits. And then you have 3 modules which you can choose from a option of 8 modules, which again accounts for further 45 credits. And then you have a research project, which is 90 credits. So this 45 of taught modules plus 90 credits makes 180 credits. If you complete 180 credits of teaching, you will be eligible for MSc degree. There is a second path for students who cannot do full-time MSc or who cannot do MSc degree. They have limited time. They can also opt for a PG certificate in the burns and plastic reconstructive surgery, which is 60 credits. There is a flexible study options up to 6 months, maximum of 2 years. Obviously, there is a condition that you had to meet the flexibility requirement to study in UK. Again, the details on this can be found from our website and also contacting registry. So as I said, course structure, the MSc is 90 credits taught module, and 90 credits is a project, and this is compulsory. This is what you need to do. If you're going for PG certificate, it's 60 credits only. If you UK base, it's only 6 months what you get. And now going further, and before I go further, I wanted to tell you that the MSc, and again, this is to you satisfying some terms and condition of your visa requirement if you're an overseas student. The program can be done up to 5 years. So 1 year full time, 2 year part time, or something we call flexible, which is over a period of 5 years. This is mainly useful for students who are already based in UK. They're working in NHS and they want to work around their clinical schedule. So there is these 3 options are available. Obviously, if you're not sure about which option is the good for you, you can send an email to us and we can have a discussion and finalize what will work for you. But now getting into the nitty-gritties of exactly what modules we will be teaching you. So these are the compulsory modules, which we also call core modules. The program starts at the beginning of October every year and finishes by end of July. After July, you get a break for 1 month, which is August. And in September, you have a Viva examination for your projects. And after the Viva examination, the course get completed. So you can see a cycle from October till end of September is exactly where we need your commitment when you are doing it full time. The core modules are plastic and reconstructive surgery, burns, military injury, and wound healing. Then you have a research methodology and research project. I will go through each of these modules later in detail, but those were the compulsory modules. This is a list of optional modules. You can only choose 3 because each of these modules are 15 credits and you need 45 credits from this. So again, the list is available on our website. And again, you have a recording, so you can go and look at it and make your decision which of these modules will be useful for you. And I will go through those models again, which starts from systematic review, tissue engineering, biomaterials. And then there are very surgically focused models also, like advanced surgical skills, robotic skills, basic, advanced, and reconstructive surgery skills. These are skill-based modules. And you also have stem cells and application in surgery. That's a taught module. So the first module, which is a compulsory, is plastic and reconstructive surgery. Here you will be mainly focused on introducing trainee surgeons, clinicians, and healthcare professionals to basics of plastic and reconstructive surgery. You'll be covering different topics such as hand, breast, face, ear, nose, limb, abdominoplasty, and reconstructive surgery. This is just a brief snapshot of different topics which are being covered during this module. The other model we got is burns and military injury and wound healing model. Here again, we are introducing and we are focusing on burns, and also there is a component of military injuries. This is how the model structure look like, where we cover quite in detail information about burn surgery, pathophysiology, resuscitation, and reconstruction. And then you have a military models which are looking into how the injuries occur, how immediate, early, and delayed reconstruction is actually managed. You will be taught by a faculty of clinicians, plastic surgeons, quite renowned, both based in London and outside London. We also have an international faculty on occasions, but this is a list of some of the people who will be teaching you. Majority of this faculty based at Royal Free and around London. The other compulsory module is research methodology. And these module mainly focus on teaching you statistics. In research, this is the most important skill you want to have: critical thinking, research planning, and this is what this module is actually focused on. So these were all compulsory modules which we had to take in addition to the research project, which I will talk later. The next one is the optional modules. So as I said, these are the optional modules. The first one, we can go through the skills module. The first one is the surgical skills in microsurgery. And these skills module, two of the skills modules are delivered by our partner organization at Northwick Park Hospital. And they also are one of the training centers for clinical skills training centers in UK, who can give you a formal certification for completing this training. So alongside your MSc degree, you will also get a certification from them for completing microsurgery skills and also robotics. So these are two independent models. You can choose either of them or you can choose both of them. The other model which we got is advanced skills in plastic surgery. This is run at Royal Free Hospital, where we are based, by Professor Butler. And you'll be learning about different types of suturing, skin grafting. I mean, so you could be very new in terms of surgical skills, and I think that would be a very appropriate model for to start before you go into doing a microsurgery. So generally, these models are planned in a way where the advanced or the basic skills in plastic surgery is given first, and then if you need, you can go on microsurgery and robotics. These are some of the photographs from the MSc student who have been doing and practicing different things in the lab. The other optional module you got is stem cells and their applications in surgery. Here we introduce these models to look at understanding about stem cell. First of all, they're quite widely used in plastic surgery and in general in medicine. There's a lot of interest in research because of their regenerative capacities, but there are also a lot of misconceptions about how they are used, what regulations are actually in place for their utilization, and what the mechanism in which they might actually work. And as a clinician, I think it's important for you to understand those basic, because there is a good amount of interest in using these things for reconstructive and regenerative purposes. So that is this module what focuses on. The other module you got is tissue engineering. This is again an optional module where you will learn about how tissue is actually being regenerated for transplantation, but basically is being generated outside the body. And will be focused on engineering specific tissues, discussion about how this technology might actually future evolve, where there will be a need based on some of the reconstructive challenges you have in plastic and burn surgery. The other model you got is biomaterials. Again, this is the optional taught model. Here we use lots of materials in body. and this is the material biomaterial model is being designed to help you understand both the basics of biomaterials in terms of their design, manufacturing, their properties, at the same time, how they are being applied in a real life. How can you design a new biomaterial for a specific application based on an unmet clinical need? So these are very much of science models. Then you have systematic review 1 and systematic review 2. Again, this is a very important skill, which what you will be learning. Here, the caveat is that if you can't take part 2 unless you have completed part 1. So they're interdependent. But again, that's a part where you will be actually selecting your module once you have completed and you have received offer letter from UCL. The other most important, which is the 50% of your MSc, is your research project, which got 90 credits. And once you complete all your taught module, which will run across the year from January till mid-July, you will be engaged with a research project. And this research project, as I said, is the 50% of MSc, as 90 credits. It finishes with a dissertation or a report, which is up to 15,000 words, followed by an oral examination called Viva examination in September. We offer various types of projects. They can be lab-based projects, they can be clinical projects, they can be very innovative, like augmented reality, VR, use of artificial intelligence into surgery, going to 3D printing of different types of breast implants, skin tissues, understanding radio and radiological effects onto different types of therapies, creation of hair new follicles, synthetic composite for and stem cells for nerve regeneration. You can think about different ideas, and those are the things might be actually exploring as a part of your research project during this stage, because that's where you actually spend majority of your time applying your knowledge and building new skills. Now let's talk about a little bit about how the teaching works at UCL. So teaching at UCL is a combination of online learning, at the same time face-to-face learning. Okay, when I say online learning, majority of or all of the reading material, educational material is available online. We make it available online through a software called Moodle. Okay, and all the events, all the lectures, journal club, all the information is actually going to be available to you through Moodle. Once you register, you will automatically get assigned to this website, and through your username and password, you should be able to check that one. At the same time, you have access to library resources in the Royal Free Hospital, where we will be based. We have a library on a ground floor where you can borrow books. You have a computer cluster, printing and copier facilities. Department also provides you a locker dedicated to keep your stuff safe when you are at site. As the poll suggested, I think more than 70% of people today is actually international students. And that's not very far off from what I wanted to say is MSc student on this course, as nearly 80% of students are international. And there is a huge amount of support available for international student at UCL for welfare, for joining, living in London. So if you are planning to study at UCL, I think you can search and look up international support at a UCL website, make connections with people, contact the society, and learn more about all the logistics you will require to prepare for your journey, and at the same time staying in London. So that's another information resource I want to tell you. The other thing is about the output. So what do our students do by doing this course? Obviously, they have different ambitions, they have different objectives, but one of the major one, which is quantifiable, where you can see people have actually been working and producing something, is to look at their scientific publications. So our MSc students have published more than 100 publications in various different areas. They are scientific publications. There are also various book chapters. With students through this course, we have also published our textbook of plastic and reconstructive surgery. Is freely available to download through UCL website. And this is roughly a statistics you can see. That was from last year. I think that's now changed quite massively. This book has been downloaded more than 150,000 times in more than 194 territories. So it's a quite big uptake of this book. And this book is also will be one of the key in terms of your learning process. You will be using this on an everyday basis while we are going through the teaching alongside the lectures. You will be using this as a reference. As far as the information is concerned, we are on both Facebook as well as Twitter. So that's our Facebook page, Burns and Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery UCL. And that's our Twitter page where you can see whatever activities we are doing, we'll be posting them. And we do share and communicate with people through our social media outlet. As far as the student base and composition is concerned, so all the red dot you see or where our students actually came from. This program has been running for more than 12 years now, and more than 240 postgraduate students have completed this course. Quite few of our students are already at a very high positions in different governmental organizations, from hospitals to various different types of policy departments also, based on the career path they choose. But there is a variety of students, and they are pretty much from everywhere in the world, which gives us quite a lot of assurance that there is no such program currently running, and we are possibly the only one, and quite successfully we have been running for more than 12 years, and we hope to see that this will go on further. We do get quite a lot of inquiries from other countries too, like Australia and New Zealand. However, their academic calendar doesn't match with us. They start quite late, whereas we have only one intake. That is going to be October. So if you cannot start in October, unfortunately, there is no other option. You had to make a sort of availability to start in October. You have to be in UCL and London by September end if you want to start on October. So this is something is very important, and I will tell you why. But these are some of the reasons which are generally being given by our students is why they wanted to come on these courses, like career progression, professional development. They want to learn more about plastic surgery or hone in their skills in research. They want to get publications. Career change, this has also been happening, and that's quite few students actually done. Higher education degree, because they want to use MSc as a platform to do PhD, become more competitive. There is in NHS, there is a point-based system in terms of how you progress, and everything what you do in this program actually helps us to acquire those points too. Then you have an international exposure, which is embedded part of this program. Right, now let's talk about if you are planning to apply for it, and you might have already applied for it, is what are the deadlines? So if you are the one who require a visa, your deadline is 28th of June 2024. This cannot be extended. Okay, there is a reason this is being set, because there are a lot of formalities which require to be finished and completed, so that you are in UK and in London by September. By end of September, you should be here if you want to start this program. If you do not require a visa, then your deadline is 30th of August. The processing time for most of these application is between 6 to 8 weeks. That depends if you have provided all the information and all your documentation while you're applying for this application, while you're submitting your application. You submit your application through our website, which allows essentially direct you to the Portico, which is a system which you will use while you are at UCL throughout. It's administrative systems which manages all your informations, registration, everything. So this is our page where you will essentially going on to the website, and clicking on apply for the course, and you will find all the information there about when the application, what the deadlines are, what the course fees are based on. Is it a full-time international, full-time local, part-time, everything? I think you can find that. That's very self-explanatory. Now coming to applications. This is a very important information I wanted to cover because I get lots of queries about these things. What documentation do you require when you are making an application? Obviously, all the applications are done online through our Portico system. You need to upload all your academic certificates, your medical degree certificates. If they are in different language other than English, you need to get them translated so that the registry can confirm that you are eligible for this course. You need an English language qualification if you are not based in UK. Again, you can check that information. Do you require it? But it's unlikely that you will get a waiver. So this is important that you start looking into English language qualification immediately if you're planning your application, because this is going to be must. If you do not have an English language qualification, when you make an application, you will get an offer provided you have the right qualification and all other paperwork is in place, but it will be a conditional offer. Then what you need is the detailed CV. This is again where a lot of students actually make, or applicant actually make a mistake. They do not provide enough information about their work experience and previous training. If it is related to plastic surgery, even better. I think you want to mention that. It's not necessary, but it's important that you mention it. The other important document is your personal statement. Here, you really need to be very clear. What is your motivation? Why do you want to learn and come to UCL and join this course? What is this course is going to enable you for your future progression, for your future career? And this is your opportunity to make it very clear. It should not be more than 1 page, A4 size. So don't write 2-3 pages. It's very much of a distraction for anyone reading it. Within 1 page, you want to clarify what are your specific reasons to do these courses, and do provide an evidence for it. You can mention that and refer to your CV. The other two the last important document you require is 2 references. Again, here the major mistake students can do, or the applicant can do, is they provide references of their relatives, family members, or friends. I must tell you, they are not accepted. They have to be from your previous supervisors, mentor, or professors who have taught you, who can actually mention and qualify your eligibility, and also talk about your ability in terms of your studies and lot other parameter we are going to ask them as a part of the reference process. The reference should always come from their official email. This is most of the time when registry is going to reject your application, or it will be delayed if the reference is not received from your referee from their official email address. If they're a university professor, they will have a university email address. So I think it's your job that you actually mention them. Please do that. Otherwise, your application will be delayed until they respond from their official email addresses. This is a part of their checks, which a registry has to do. So I think that's pretty much end of my presentation. I just wanted to give you a bit of flavor so you can ask me more questions, see if there is anything unclear to you. You have the FAQs on our website. This website will essentially cover all the information you need to know. There is also my email address. So if you have any questions, we can actually contact on those email address. If not me, Andreas, who is our course administrator, he will be able to answer most of your queries. And thank you very much. I'm happy to answer any questions after this. Over to you, Emilia.
Thank you, Deepak. It was a brilliant presentation, and I really hope that this gave our audience an insight on our program. But we're happy to take your question now. Just use your Q&A function on Zoom to write down questions. We give a minute or so for you to type.
Right. I think I just noticed, I think Professor Butler is also online. So hi, Peter. Uh, if you guys got any questions for Professor Butler, please type them in. Okay, we got a question which is saying, what is the competition ratio for this course? It's definitely quite competitive. We get application from all over the world, and it varies a merit basis. So we are looking for the best candidate to come. So I think you want to make sure that all the sort of guidelines I suggested, what are the things when you are applying for it, you want to make sure those documentations are very clear. You are very clear on your statement, what you are writing it, your reasons for coming on these courses, why you are the right person to go on doing this course. I think that's something you want to consider. Peter, if you have anything to add anytime, please just chip in.
Yeah, no, Deepak, I think you've covered everything. So basically, we're opening it to them to ask questions.
Yeah. The next question they got is, what is it like about research project? Will it be like an official publication? Yeah, every research thesis actually is published. It's deposited. You had to it get automatically deposited within the UCL library, and it can be made available to people. So, but research project is a part. It's a documentation. It's a thesis, what you write as the outcome of your research, which you have done, which will contain your introduction to your research, what experimentation you have done, what results you acquire, and a discussion of that. That's what. Is it possible to get a decision within less than 6 weeks? Completely depends. Because the application doesn't come to us first. It goes to registry. Registry will have to check all your documentations. Only when they are happy, the application comes to us. So we won't see your application when you apply. It is within the registry only. So if you make sure that you don't make a mistake and you have all the documentation, it might actually come to us earlier. But if you have any other questions, then there is any sense of urgency, send an email and we can try and help you out whenever we can. But without registry clearing it, there is nothing we can do. The offer letter is not generated by us. Offer letter is generated by registry.
Deepak, just coming back to the publications, we would expect that you'd generate at least one or two, if not three publications out of your work, because the coursework lends itself to be a publication as well as obviously your master's thesis itself. So you don't just produce the research out of the publication out of your master's research project, you also produce it out of coursework.
I hope that answers your questions. The next question is from Mohammed. He's asking, he's a JCF General Surgery Manchester. Can I participate as a part-time? Can I participate? I think you should be able to do it.
Yep.
We had students coming from Ireland, from Switzerland, coming and doing course on part-time. There is definitely a commitment. You will be traveling, but students have been doing them. So it's definitely the answer to the question is feasible. It's completely depend on you, making sure that you have reserved time for study. You will have to put extra effort. You are in NHS, so you know that you will have to create time for this to acquire this qualification. Is it possible for FY doctors to do this course as a distance learning if you're working in non-London? It's not a distance learning course. So it's mandatory that you have presence in London while you are doing this course, unfortunately. But that's
But you can do it though, Deepak, as a part-time. Certainly people, we try to load it so that if you do, some of the work is done in a very significant modular form over a very tight, like a 2-week period or 1 week there, the skills-based components. The thought process is loaded towards the end of the week in regards to some of the modules. So if you pick your modules carefully, you can absolutely deliver it from a distance. But obviously it is not a distance learning course. There is part of it is you have to be present. And as Deepak said, we've had people not just from the UK, but from all over Europe coming to do it as part-time students.
Yeah, and I think choosing, if you're working, I think choosing a part-time option or a flexible option is something what we recommend. But more than happy to discuss if you have considerations you want us to look at it. We can discuss and give you one-to-one feedback and suggest which option will be better. But please do send an email if that's what you want. Naila, you're asking as a part-time MSc when you will choose your project and when will you start. If it is a part-time, which is 2 years, the project will be second year. So second year when you will start, first year you will have to do the minimum modules, or our recommendation would be that you finish all your taught modules in year 1 and then you do your research project in year 2. You can start any background work in the first year itself, but the formal registration will be for second year.
Coming to the F3, or the locum doctor, obviously we don't appoint people from this program into the Royal Free Trust, but there are people that get jobs in the Royal Free Trust as both SHOs, registrars, or as locum. So, but we don't work in partnership with the department, but there's definitely a possibility to potentially get jobs here.
So the next one is Mohammed. He's asking, can you give more information regarding part-time? How long per month should be in London? So part-time generally is 5 hours per week. That's how you will calculate it. If your full-time is 10 hours of commitment per week, which is the taught commitment, where you will be engaging with all the teaching materials and everything. That's 10 hours of full-time. Part-time is 5 hours. Most of our modules are offloaded towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, because of the same reason. So we can actually accommodate people who are working full time or they have to travel from abroad and those. But again, you can look at the timetable on our website and you should be able to plan yourself how to engage with the program. So there is a lot of planning if you are not in London to work around.
Thank you, Peter. And
Okay, there's a
Deepak,
very long question. That's from Gaza. I'm delighted I'm alive. And okay, I lost connection. Right, I'm just trying to understand. For us, I think I have received your email. I have forwarded that to UCL faculty to give us an advice how this will be done. Obviously, the application is not us with us, it's in registry. Registry will have to check all the documentation to ensure that this meets the criteria for entry requirement. So it will be up to them how they're going to consider it. But I have already asked for their recommendation.
thank you, Deepak. And I will put some links to bursary and scholarship in the chat for you. Do you have another question?
There are continuous examinations. So the examination runs throughout the year as the module finishes.
Deepak, you're on mute there, I didn't quite hear.
Yes, as how many people typically are on the course? That all depends. They can be up to 15 to 20 students. So yeah, I think you will be looking at that kind of cohort where you will be engaging with them. And this course also runs with other postgraduate course at the same time. So you will be interacting with a lot more students than just what we have on our course. You will be sharing a couple of these modules. So you will be looking at a cohort of about anywhere between 55 to 60 student. Uh, uh, 15 to 20 of them will be studying toward plastic surgery.
Question, Deepak, about exams. Did you answer that one?
Yeah, I think I already answered that question
Oh, okay,
about the
fine.
exam. I think there is a question from Faras. Right, okay. So I think Faras, you had to just wait until we get an information. If you have an application ready, you can submit it. It is up to the registry to take action on this one. You have a very special scenario which is going on here, and we'll have to wait for an advice from UCL is how they can support your application. But keep in touch. Once I get an information, you will get a response by email. Right?
Okay,
I think
please feel
we
free to
covered.
add some more questions if you have any more
Um,
questions. We'll give another couple of minutes for any more questions. And I also added some useful links in the chat.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to add you a couple of more things. If you go onto the UCL website, the page which is now in the chat, along with where the application form, if you scroll it down, there are lots of other information available about what the opportunities, career opportunities after completing this course. There are also a testimony from previous students, what they have done, what they are doing. Um, so you can actually go through that all information. These are very commonly asked questions by students when they're applying, and we have already summarized them on our website. If there are questions beyond these commonly asked questions, you can always get in touch with us.
Thank you, Deepak. You have another question from Feras. I'll let you, Deepak, go through that one. It's quite a long one.
Yeah, for us, as I said, we have already forwarded your requirement to the faculty. At the minute, I cannot comment on this unless the faculty actually gives me an information about how to handle your application. At this stage, you can go ahead and submit your application, but it will be their decision to see whether they can accept without having all the information from you, including your eligibility. But it's going to be on their discretion. So provide all the information. and we can discuss this via email.
Thank you, Deepak. And I also want to add that for any admissions questions, I just put in the chat the link to write to admissions team directly. Is a form to fill in if the question is related to admissions and entry requirement. They might help. They might be able to help.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Amelia. I think they are the best people. Yeah. If you got any technical question about courses and those, I think I can answer them. Admissions is something admission department can answer it quite well.
I think that's
Yeah,
it, isn't it? Yeah.
we have possibly covered everything.
I think so. So I want to thank you, both of you, and our audience for staying with us today. As we said, this session is recorded, so you can watch it again, and it will be available in the next couple of days on our website. We do have another last question.
Yeah, so the
Obviously-
PhD, I'll talk about PhD. Both
Yes.
myself and Deepak take people from the master's program and progress them on to PhDs. Usually it's somebody that obviously performs well, but it's a well-trodden track. We have quite a number of PhD students that have come out of the MSc program. But what it tends to be is you perform well in the master's program, you have an aptitude for the research that you need to do, you produce output, including publications, and then you obviously need to find both a supervisor, and there's obviously multiple potential supervisors outside myself and Deepak that are available on the UCL campus in a subject matter that you're interested in. And then sometimes there's programs up and running, like I have a number of NIHR grants, MRC grants, as well as Deepak has grants. So there's some existing grants, and then you either can go for something that's already up and running, or start a grant with your supervisor yourself to try and fund the research you want to do. So it's a well-trodden path, and we encourage good students to continue on with a PhD. So we would be encouraged.
That's great, Peter. Thank you for covering this. Okay, I think we reached the end of the session. So thank you again, and I wish you all a lovely evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
And best of luck.
Bye.
Bye.